Hey guys, we are back, and in this video we're going to be talking about abstraction, right? And abstraction is such a powerful concept, and it allows developers to do so much without having to do everything by themselves, right? And what abstraction basically means is that it basically hides all the list of instructions and implementations of a system so that you can just call that system and just do it, implement in your particular code, and then you don't have to worry about the technicalities of how the thing actually works, and you just want to do other things, right? You can just use this block of instructions. You don't have to necessarily know what that is. For example, if you want to use an oven, do you really need to know how the oven actually works inside? Do you know what is happening when you put something inside the oven, and how it heats, and all the technicalities of technical aspects of the oven? Do you really need to know? You just need to heat the food, right? So that's why abstraction is so powerful. Suppose you want to use the logistical regression model on your data set. It's a machine learning model. Maybe TensorFlow has gone to the gritty-nitty parts of outlining all the set of things that it's supposed to do in order to do the logistical regression calculation, and it has created a function. All you need to do is use the function and then just pass in the parameters and just calculate it, and then you can do the rest of the stuff. You don't really need to code it explicitly yourself. You can just use that. So it's a very powerful concept, and in this video what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to build the Pythagoras theorem. Like, so far, throughout the earlier videos of mine, I have done basically, I've used abstraction, right? I've like created classes, and I've called functions, and in a sense these are abstractions, right? Basically you don't really need to know what is happening. You can just like ignore that and then just like run the call the function and then just get it over with. Okay, so in this let's start building a Pythagoras theorem. So I really found this online Pythagoras theorem calculator, where first let's just first get the logic right. So base square, so a is the height, right? So a is the height and b is the base, right? And then the hypotenuse is so basically hypotenuse square is equal to height square plus base square, right? So we're gonna just like build it here right now. Okay, so first thing we're gonna do is maybe create a class. Let's call it class Pythagoras, and then let's create a function. Let's call it theorem, and then we can pass in self, and then we can pass in what variables do we need? We need the height and the base, right? So we need the height and we need the base, right? Awesome. And then what we can do is we can store in the value. So how do we say height squared? So there is a built-in function called pow. So we can use pow, and we can say height. So pow function basically takes in two parameters: the part, the base, and the square root element, right? So I want to say height squared. So the two parameters that I pass is basically height and then 2. So it's basically gonna calculate height squared, right? So then I can use pow again, and then I can say base 2, right? So basically now what I have is height squared plus base squared, right? And now hypotenuse is the square root of that, right? Because 8 squared is equal to base square plus height square, right? And then if I just want the height, it has to be the square root of that value. So basically hypotenuse has to be the square root of val, right? Okay, but this is just like me writing the pseudocode, right? But then how do we code it? So I think we have to import the library math, because there is a built-in function called square root, but for that you need to import another library. So the library that we're going to import is called math. We're going to import math. Awesome. And then what I can do here is I can say math dot square root, and math basically has a function called square root, and if you pass a parameter inside the square root function, it basically makes the square root of that value, right? So we want the square root of this value, right? So we want the square root of this val, and now what we have here is we have the square root of val, and that is basically the hypotenuse, right? Hypotenuse is the square root of height square and base square, right? Awesome. And then what we can do here is we can just like print hypotenuse, and then just like use this, just the variable, and now we are done. And then we can just create an object of the class, Pythagoras class. So we can say maybe calc is equal to Pythagoras. Now calc has become an object of the Pythagoras class, right? So now calc recognizes all the functions that are within the scope of the Pythagoras class. So now let's use calc to call the theorem function. So calc dot theorem, and now theorem takes in a few parameters, right? So what did we do here? As the base we passed in, as the height we passed 2, right? We did 2, okay, and as the base we passed 3, right? So 2 and 3, right? That should work. And now what it's basically, before I run the code, what it's doing is now I have created a class where I've defined a function which takes in parameters, and we have done a calculation, a list of calculation, right? And now if I run the code, let's see if I get any error. And before I run the code, I'm going to tell you that I am supposed to get an error because I just noticed something, which is that in print okay, let me just run the code and let's get the error first. So see, the error that I get here is it's type error, and what that means is that, you know, I said here that hypotenuse and then just print the hypotenuse, but print is supposed to only print the input type that is in the string type, right? But this portion of the string portion is in string, but hypotenuse is not in string. It's in it's probably in float value, right? So what we can do here, we can convert this variable into a string, and the way we can do it is we can say str and then put it inside enclosed brackets, and this way what it does is it converts the hypotenuse float value into a string, and then it can print the value. And now if I run the code, what I get here is 3.61, and this is basically it. So the main idea is not this per se, but what I wanted to show is that every time I use, so suppose this portion of the code remains hidden, right? It's somewhere hidden, and you don't need to really know how it works. You can just pass in the values here, and it's gonna calculate the thing for you, right? So let me just do it again, and then this time it's 7.81, 5 and 6, okay. So let me just 5, the order doesn't really matter, and 7.81, right? So the program works, right? So every time we decide to write a block of instructions that does a particular stuff, and we don't really need the users to really know what is actually happening, this is a very, very simple thing, right? It's a very simple list of instructions, but things can get really complicated, right? Suppose you want to use a machine learning model, you want to do some sort of image classification, and for that they had to, you know, actually explicitly write a lot of instructions. You don't really need to know. You can just use the concept of abstraction, and abstraction basically hides. So I can also like make this entire thing into a library, and then all I have to do is I have to just import the library and then call the function that is within that library, right? So so here, like for example, here it's an abstraction itself. See, if you look closely, I just imported the math library, and I use the function that is within that library called square root, right? sqrt. And I don't really need to know how they managed to take that value and do the square root calculation, right? I don't really need to know. So but I can use it to because I have a bigger purpose here. I want to calculate the hypotenuse value, right? And this is basically the concept of abstraction in Python, and that's basically all for this video. And uh, this basically ends this playlist, but like if you want me to cover more concepts, I would be happy to do that. So let me know down in the comments if you want me to do that, and I'll make more videos regarding the OOP concepts in Python. So guys, see you next time. Bye.